Hello everyone and welcome back to Fire Emblem Heroes. So we come back with another Emblem showcase. This time it is, of course, Emblem Sigurd. If you guys remember, in past videos I've told you that this will be an emblem that I would for sure get. Because this character is probably one of those characters that you want to get no matter what, if you want to stay competitive. For two reasons. Obviously, the high movement that Sigurd provides both to himself and your characters will be essential, and I will explain more later in the build showcase. Second, this character has a gimmick other than the movement that is incredibly strong, and that also will come into play later into the build showcase. For now, this is a character from Fire Emblem Engage, technically it is also from Genealogy of the Holy War, since it is Sigurd, and he is an emblem, so at the end of the month, amongst the legendary and mythical characters, you could get Sigurd if he's being rerun. Right now I believe that he's still on raid up as I'm recording. If you are able to get him, do so. Out of all the emblems, I would say that Sigurd right now probably might be the best, because what he does is something that is really important for a lot of characters. But I will tell you more in the build showcase. For now enjoy the first part of the video, animation, dialogue, etc. Then the build showcase and then the gameplay showcase. So I will be back with you in just a second.
Both my original self and my emblem self have lived through the loss of those important to us. In Helios, I was with Lumera at Lithos Castle. It seems there are many Sigurds in the Order. Some you may know well. As an emblem, I am all of them, and none of them. If you are riding far, I will accompany you. You might arrive sooner with me at your side. Deirdre, Salaf, I never dreamed I would get to see you again. Oh, I thought you wanted to polish the emblem ring. It is a common practice on the Somniel. If you are riding far, I will accompany you. You might arrive sooner with me at your side. What was it? Provide for us Emblem of the Holy War. Yes, that was the invocation to summon me.
Okay, my friends, here we are with the build showcase. As per usual, we already done one Emblem showcase before, but I will do it like this. First we check out the character, then I will tell you which characters I think are pretty good with Emblem Sigurd as their emblem. In this case, I do not think that there is a wrong choice to go with due to how his emblem work, but there are some characters that I do think work very well together with Sigurd. Anyway, let's start with the character. We have Lance Cavalry, expected by the way, and we have stats HP decent, attack very high, and it is also a flow, so it should be even higher. Then we have speed 37, mid-range speed, but to be fair, he doesn't really need the speed, and you will see why in just a second. Very high def, and he does need the def. And then we have low res. In this case it is an asset, shouldn't be an asset in my opinion, because 20 or 17 res as it usually should be don't really do much for him at all. And it is one of his most important weaknesses, like a character like Gulveig can destroy Sigurd in their player phase. But I will say this. This is a character that obviously you want to use yourself in your own player phase. It's not a character that is meant to tank hits. Nowhere at all you will see a Sigurd being a tank. He can tank some melee hits, admittedly, but like one mage and he's dead. To that weakness, however, we have a very, very strong character. So let's start with the first effect from the weapon. Canto 3. So whatever you do, you will always have, after an attack, assist skill, or structure destruction, unit can move 3 spaces. We saw this with the Vanaheim unit, I believe, and not Cedar, sorry. The weapon is called, the air special is called Cedar, so that's why slip of the tongue there. Regin. And Regin can do this, but only from turn 1 to 4. Sigurd can do it even past turn 4, so that's very good already. Doesn't end there. Special trigger acceleration at the start of turn grants gallop to unit. What is gallop? A very simple effect. Unit can move 2 extra spaces. Now, the movement for cavalry is 3, plus 2, 5 movement. Sigurd can pretty much get everywhere he wants through the map. Obviously there are terrains that cavalries cannot cross, like forests, etc. But you can tell already how strong that effect is. Because, remember, he has Canto 3 anytime he wants. So that's why he's such a strong player face character. It doesn't end there. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to unit equal to attack, speed, def, res, where it is 5 plus number of foes within 3 rows or 3 columns, center or unit per 3, to a maximum of 14. So he can get a maximum of 19 stats whenever he attacks the enemy, provided that there are enemies near that enemy. Which is pretty nice if you think about it, because most of the time this character will be onto the enemies due to his high movement, so he will get plus 19 to every stats, which really helps. It doesn't end there. Deals damage equals to 20% of unit def, so true damage scaling on his def, which as we saw is very high, and reduces the percentage of fall non special reduced damage by X% skills by 50% during combat. That's always something that you want to have on player face characters nowadays, otherwise the damage gets highly reduced, so in this case Sigurd has everything. Movement, Canto 3 plus Gallop. Special trigger acceleration, stat boost to a maximum of plus 19 just by having the enemies near an enemy that you attack. True damage 20% of the def that Sigurd does. And then we have anti-damage reduction to a maximum of 50%. We also have restore 7 HP to unit after combat. This weapon gives already anything that Sigurd needs in terms of offensive capabilities. There are some things missing, obviously, you might be wondering. Nowadays, characters that have high movement, cavalry or flying sometimes have extra movement after the attack. Edelgard, Gulveig, etc. Does Sigurd have such a thing in his kit? Yes, he does. We have Override. This is I don't remember how it was called, the engage attack, I think, where Sigurd you could pass to enemies and deal damage without doing a battle. So this is how they decided to make that skill into a skill into the Fire Emblem Heroes game. It is his unique skill, special, sorry, and we have if unit special is ready before combat, so this is a before combat special, those that trigger on an area. This unit initiates foes in an area near target take damage equal to 1.5 per unit attacked minus for def or S. So you do want to give Sigurd more attack and more def. More attack to increase the damage of Override, more def to increase the true damage from Holy War Spear. So what is this area? The area is a square, 3x3 square. When unit deals damage to 2 or more foes at the same time using a special, grants another action to unit after combat. And here we have the extra action that Sigurd gets. So what we want here is to attack an enemy that is in a square within other enemies, so that he deals damage to both of those enemies, he attacks, and then he will get his special ready again, which is incredibly good to have, because 2 overrides on an enemy team that is packed together, you will destroy them to 1 HP, which is, obviously, before attack specials cannot kill an enemy if they aren't the one being attacked. They will just remain at 1 HP, to make an example. But think about this, there are so many skills, weapons, etc. that work only if the enemy has 25 or more percent of HP. So this is a very strong effect, just for this fact alone that it can reduce HP passively through the other enemies, and in such a way where this special does help Sigurd in battle, because if unit or foe special is ready or triggered before or during combat, he also reduces damage taken by 40%. So Sigurd does have a component to his kit where even in battle, if this kind of special doesn't work, he still will do a lot of damage. We have the true damage here, we have the extra stats, we have the anti-DR and DR, and we also have, in case it doesn't work out, he can retreat. So he has everything. Much like other Emblem characters, he also comes with an entirely new skill that can be inherited, which is Momentum 4. If unit or foe initiates combat after moving to a different space, inflicts attack and death -4 on foe, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, so that's why you don't need the speed, and also deals damage during combat equals number of spaces from start position to end position of whoever initiates combat per 4. Maximum of 20. So you can tell already, together with momentum, just how strong Sigurd can get into a battle in player phase. Enemy phase too, but enemy phase he has a very huge weakness with the rest. It doesn't end there. If you initiate combat after moving to a different space, triggers the following effects depending on unit equipped special. So this is good because obviously you might not always have a character with a now special like Sigurd, but you might give momentum to someone who has a normal special. If unit has area of effect special equipped, so in this case Sigurd, grants a special cooldown count -X to unit before special triggers before combat, if unit has a special that triggers when unit attacks. So in this case, what this is saying is that override will always trigger. Doesn't end there, grants a special cooldown count -X to unit before unit first attack during combat, if number of spaces from start position to end position is more than 3, X is equal to, otherwise X equals 1. So in the case there is not area of effect, then depending on your movement, it reduces the special. So basically what momentum does is inflicts a debuff of attack and death, guaranteed follow-up attack, inflicts flat damage based on the number of tiles you have moved per 4 to a maximum of 20, and then if you have an OA special, you always get cooldown count -X during your combat. Otherwise, depending on your movement, you get a different effect, -2 or -1. Generally speaking, Momentum 4 will be a skill that will be really used on characters that want to use their special all the time and that move a lot, so most of the time that's cavalry characters. Then we have Attack and Death Excel, based on how much you move you get more attack and death, those we already saw before, and the Fatal Smoke 4. So last time we saw Aided Regin, giving Sigurd Shadow Shift 4, I believe it is a good idea. Like Fatal Smoke 4, it is good, obviously, because you don't want foes to heal after you reduce them to 1 HP, but at the same time, Shadow Shift can help Sigurd a lot in many different situations. So Sigurd doesn't lack anything. He's a player face character that can do pretty much all that you need him to do. Destroy the enemy backline, weaken the enemy, take out a specific character. He is the offensive character that anyone wants, with the movement that anyone wishes. So, the weakness is obviously the low res, which for example for a character like Lysidia, who has advantage against cavalry, Sigurd is dead. But most of the time, Lysidia will die before then. So now we come to, should you get this character? Yes. if I had a scale from 1 to 100, Sigurd would be a 98, which is pretty close to perfection. So make sure to get Emblem Sigurd. Now we go into the emblem effect. Boost special damage by number of spaces from start position to end position of whoever initiated combat, to a maximum of 4 per 2. So you can boost your damage by 8 maximum, which is pretty nice. But the true effect that I want to focus on is enables Canto X, which you can get 1, 3 or 2 depending on the range of unit. But finally we have the effect that makes Emblem Sigurd worthwhile. At the start of turn, grants unit can move 1 extra space to unit for 1 turn. Does not stack, obviously. Excludes the cavalry with range equals 2. So ranged cavalry cannot do this, which is a given because otherwise they will terrorize PvP everywhere. But remember, there is a certain type of character that benefits a lot from those effects of movement. Those characters... Let me see if I can find where the emblem stuff is, because I forget it every time. Not here, interact with allies. Engage, there we go. So, I call those characters the support and move. That's an easy way to say it. Crom, Lucina, and of course, Hyder. Yes indeed, because think about it. Hyder gets extra movement. What does Hyder want to do every turn? First, she supports a character, boosts both herself and the character with gold serpents, and then she wants to attack. So, Hyder, at all times, not only will she get the effect of the boosted special, but she also will benefit from the Canto, which she already gets from golden serpents, but that's so it is kinda superfluous, but also the extra damage. So, Crom, Hyder, Lucina. Anyway, that's it for the build showcase. Now we jump into the gameplay showcase. Thank you much for watching. As usual, remember to like and sub, support the channel. If you want to support the channel more, remember to use the super text feature to a comment which you're choosing under your favorite Fire Emblem Heroes video, and I will be back with you next time. Not sure for Halloween or whatever, but hopefully with something cool. Thank you much for watching and enjoy the Today is a roller coaster, the gameplay showcase. Enjoy.
Leave it to me. I am here.
What can I do?
Ready to help.
We mustn't get lost.
Ready to go. I am here.